Skibbity doo dop.
Did you just skibbity toilet the beginning of our podcast here?
I did skibbity
Oh my
toilet.
gosh.
So it's not just my kid that does that skibbity toilet thing. Like
Oh no,
I
they're
don't get
all
it.
over the place.
Okay. That's fair.
Welcome to the Hold My Beard Marketing Podcast, the only skibbity podcast about marketing. It's got so much
Skibbity
riz.
toilet.
I'm living in Ohio at this point.
So much riz. We're dripping in marketing and conversions.
Oh my gosh. I am, of course, Jake the Wizard, here with, as always, Mitch Barham.
Just hanging out over here with my gat.
Oh my gosh. This is going to end now. We had to attract a new audience, guys. We got to get a younger crowd in here.
Yeah.
So,
we're learning.
If you've never been here before, we go through latest marketing news, tips, tricks, and at the end, we're going to review a website in the 7 Minutes in Heaven segment. So stick around for that so you can learn how to design your website better.
Have you turned my singing into the theme song for that segment yet?
Well, I told the editing team to find the singing section, and they couldn't identify anything as singing.
I mean, yeah, they're not wrong. Did they come back with like, well, we did find a section where it sounded like a goat was dying, but
oh my god,
is that what you want?
the what, paralyzing goats?
Yeah, the fainting goes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So starting off, everything is marketing, y'all. In Las Vegas, they have demolished the Tropicana casino. If you ever been there, it's gone now.
Aww.
But they did it in an amazing fireworks and drone show.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'd pull up the video, but I recommend just going to your favorite social media platform and finding it. It's really cool. They have like the drones do like a big like detonation box.
Oh.
They count it down and then it detonates, and then the drones like fly around and shoot fireworks off, and then the whole thing, it's really cool.
I mean, just a building blowing up itself is really cool. And then
I know.
You add that in there, now it's like a whole new level of riz, man. I mean,
Disney doesn't even blow up buildings when they do their fireworks shows, so real treat.
Take that, Disney.
Take that, Disney. Or take notes. I don't know.
Something.
You can market to anybody. Crocs are now made for dogs.
No.
Yes.
Get out.
Oh, yes.
No.
They have teamed up with BarkBox, a subscription monthly gift box for dogs, to create Crocs for your dogs. If you can't find an audience, make an audience.
Wow. Real okay. I want to see these dogs walking around in their Crocs though. I'm sure it's hilarious.
Oh, just kind of doing like the little doggy foot flick.
Yeah, where they're like
Look, this dog is just straight up traumatized.
Oh, look at its eyes.
This is trauma dog.
What's on me? Get him off.
Yeah,
they have
absolutely.
They have like a matching pair. Do they have gibbets for these dogs?
Oh, of course they do. Standard gibbet holes and everything.
Get out of my life.
This is where creative thinking meets creative solutions. Okay?
It's so dumb, but so smart at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Crocs is like, everybody who's ever going to own Crocs owns Crocs.
Yeah.
We need someone new to sell to. Well, people who have Crocs have dogs.
Yeah. I might have to buy some for my dachshund now just to see what he does.
A dachshund Crocs?
Yeah. Yeah, dachshund and Crocs.
A Crocson, if you will.
Ooh,
yeah, there you go. So again, viral solutions viral issues require viral solutions. In a more serious note, DOJ is now seriously considering breaking up Google. On the back of the legislation we talked about a couple months ago, there's been a couple judges, specifically Judge Amit Mehta, who is aiming to break this thing up.
They need to break up Apple then at the same time.
That's the problem, is that if this domino goes, there's about 12 more behind it that are going to have to go.
Apple's a monopoly. Google's a monopoly. Like, I'm shocked, though, that this is even being brought up. I think like in our some of our earlier episodes, you and I talked about how basically Google and Apple were monopolies before this lawsuit ever got closed. And like, how do you break them up? They're too big. Like
Well,
they're just they're
that's the problem is that these aren't just monopolies.
right,
These are integrated parts of everyday life.
right.
This would be like saying, "You know what? We're gonna demonopolize roads."
Yeah,
I mean, that it's funny,
literally.
but, like, it's kind of true.
No, it totally is. Like if you think about it, like Google is the internet. To
Right.
me, Google is the internet. Like the internet is Google. Google, the internet is the social media apps. That is the internet. So let's take this back to like the old days where they split up AT&T, right? That's where Singular and Bell South and all them came from.
My grandfather worked for Bell South
Yeah,
when that
but
happened. I actually have, he's passed on, but my one trinket from him is I have a Bell South, like 25 years of service pen.
oh wow,
Yeah. I don't know if it's
that's
worth
really cool.
anything, but I'm not getting rid of it. So,
So if you break up Google, I mean, you're gonna have to break it up like dude, that's gonna be so complex because you're going to have like the search side and then the paid ads side, and then you're gonna split YouTube off into its own, and then Android operating system off into its own. Like, I don't know how you do that.
I genuinely don't because they're all so interconnected as well.
Right. Severely interwoven.
It's like, okay, you're broken up, but you can still use each other's services internally and blah, 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 blah.
I mean, you would literally have to break up Apple right away as well. You'd have to break up Facebook. There would be, like I said, somebody dumb. I'm just shocked, like more than anything.
Yeah, if we're gonna do this, we got to call in Benedict Cumberbatch
Yes.
reprising his role as Sherlock Holmes
Yes.
because that's the only way this is gonna happen. So
But it is just a May breakup. Like that was this dude, that would have to take years to break them up. Years to dismantle that company.
they're an economy to themselves. And if we're gonna be real honest about something for a second, if we're talking about breaking up monopolies, look at yourself, government.
Oh, for real. For real. That's funny that you say that because I've been listening to an episode of Rogan with some venture capitalist guy on there, Chimoth, or I'm going to butcher his name, so I won't even say it. But like the government literally is a monopoly. I mean, there's redundancies upon redundancies to where the private sector could do such a better job, more efficiently for much cheaper. Like imagine we could order 50 million Starlink little satellite internet things and drive the cost down for SpaceX or whoever makes those. I think it's SpaceX, and it would cost like a couple $1 billion, but that's nothing compared to the 42 billion they wasted on supposedly putting a broadband to rural areas, and then it never happened.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I always get stuck on the EV charger one, the company that they gave a couple $1 billion to, and they installed like 12.
Three, seven
Three.
billion dollars, and they installed three.
Government
What?
efficiency. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I don't want to drag this piece on too long, but I lived in England for a little while. And in England, the postal service is a private company that has to win the contract from the government every year.
Oh,
So the Royal Mail is a private company that has to bid on the governmental contract every year. And they don't give 100% of it to them. There's like 10% and a 5% that can go to other people.
interesting.
Very, very interesting. Very effective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have an open market like that, yeah, it drives competitiveness and all that stuff. So
So, anyways,
cool.
Google,
Good luck.
good luck, man. Yeah. Google's now testing a section called What People Are Saying in the Short Video Search Results. So, to give you a show of this, it's basically a carousel of
Oh,
videos from other platforms that are search results for, whatever you're searching in Google.
interesting. That's
This
kind of cool.
is why I harp on non-Google based search optimization.
Absolutely. Doesn't some of your stuff actually show up in Google searches? Like
Oh,
I think at one point
absolutely.
one of your videos or a few of your videos actually are indexed on page one of Google on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I was getting started, that's all I focused on. So was
Nice.
was getting in the longevity search and like My TikTok has grown not because my videos on the daily do well, but because I have 40 videos that are top search terms that continue to get thousands of views a month,
Mm-hmm.
and they're hyper, focused searches. So I'm a really good response for them.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing SEO or SO, search optimization, on other platforms, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Thought you might like this. In an advertising twist, Amazon, Amazon sent out a toy catalog to Prime members.
Smart. I like that.
I think this is just stinking brilliant. My kids have been going bananas in it with pens. Each kid has a different color pen, and they're circling everything.
I was going to tell you, my 6-year-old literally has been doing that with catalogs that we get from, all the different places, and the Amazon one that we got. It just immediately started circling.
Y'all, we don't talk about this that much. We're going into a mail renaissance.
Yep.
Physical mail renaissance is coming.
Direct mail is going to be making a huge resurgence.
Huge resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is, this time around, we're going to have AI as part of it, which means you're going to start receiving mail that's optimized to you. That's not the same as what your neighbor got.
Yeah, it's not just junk mail now. No, it's the hyper-targeted mail. And with all the tools we have out there to identify your interests and websites that you've been to, like, I mean, it's not just everybody gets it. It's like personalized digital ads, but everybody literally moved away from direct mail because nobody responded to it anymore. And then now you see this. Interesting.
Well, and like in this case, I'm sure they didn't do anything dynamic because they were just testing it out. But they could know the ages of my kids based off of the stuff we've purchased.
Oh, 100%.
And optimize this catalog to target those age groups.
Mm-hmm.
So they could be like, oh, okay, you have a 5-year-old male, you have a 10-year-old female, you have a 7-year-old female. All right, we're going to optimize the catalog to give you things for those 3 groupings.
Your poor son, it would just be a catalog full of like dolls and Barbies and Bratz.
Oh, he found all the Spider-Man stuff. I promise you that.
Good kid. That's awesome.
Of course, they're all Legos, so I have to take out a second mortgage.
Oh God, yeah, and like wear shoes in your house so you don't break a freaking toe.
Google search now showing competitor ads above the local reviews.
They're competitor ads?
Yep.
What are competitor ads?
So you can see here in this example, I searched for Morgan & Morgan. I got the little snippet about them, and then I get 2 ads or an ad before I get their review summary.
Oh shit, is this okay? Is this like we're not talking like GMB or just like we're talking about shit. Okay. Whoa.
So your ad will sneak in between their name and their reviews.
I like it.
Is nothing sacred?
No, I was gonna say I like it, and this is kind of a little effed up.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Amazon has done this for years.
Yeah.
Other people purchased blah 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 bar is above the review bar.
Oh, way above the
But I expect that in an e-commerce experience.
Right.
When I'm looking for the damn name of the company and you're sliding in, Salts Montegaluzzi Bendeschi. Oh my God, why did it have to be the hardest name ever? You're sliding that in above the reviews, and it looks like it's their reviews now because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah. Dude, this is going to piss so many like local service-based businesses and everybody off so bad. It's because people don't read and they're not going to realize. Then they're going to think that but okay, let me play devil's advocate. This could also waste a lot of like Salt's ad money because people will click on it thinking that they're going to the other place and then realize they're not, or call them and then like waste the money there. But still, it's a little malicious in my opinion. Like,
yeah, I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of another here. If you want to show up next to your competitor, there is mental comparison happening in deep brain that we're not talking about, right? So if I get on the phone with Morgan and Morgan here in this case, and they don't vibe with me, who the hell am I calling next?
Mm-hmm.
It's Mr. Montagliuzzi Bendeschi.
The hardest law firm name ever.
He's got a 4-letter URL, smbb.com.
But I mean, that's...
Where's the extra B coming from?
I know, that's what I'm wondering.
It's probably like the other last name, like Bendel Grimoire or something super hard as well. I don't know.
That's great. No, I don't think anything's sacred anymore. Because I mean, I saw your video the other day. Maybe you're going to bring it up about how like there's ads in what was the video you posted? Is it in the AI?
In the AI
generative
overviews.
AI? Yeah.
I thought the AI overviews were supposed to be an impartial analysis of the available data to quickly get me to an answer, not sponsored garbage.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with ads. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like ads. They're great for discovery. They help businesses out. It's a good thing. I just don't think it should be there.
Oh, I know. And I totally agree. It's just, there's certain places that, in my opinion, ads make sense. Otherwise, it's just a money grab by the platform. You know, Google with these things with above the reviews, it's a money grab. It's not really going to help anybody. In the AI overview, it's a money grab. Same thing with like Facebook and the audiences network, where you end up on apps. Same thing with Google. You end up on apps and Candy Crush and all that stuff. And you're like, no, I don't want to be there. Like, you got to go remove them. They're just money grabs.
What level of Candy Crush are you on? We all need to know.
Dude, I haven't played Candy Crush in a long time. I mean, I can look. It's really low. It's really
okay,
low.
Good.
I played Monopoly Go for a little while too, and then I got bored. I get bored of games really fast, so
I can see that.
ADD. Yeah.
Starting is the most exciting thing, folks.
This is true.
But yeah, just from the AI overviews perspective, like, people already are leery of them, and now you're gonna say I can put paid information in it too. Like,
right.
If you anyone wanted to trust AI overviews, like, this is not the direction.
No, they monetized that way too soon. Way too soon.
No trust was built up.
No, none.
Because it was
like Chat GPT.
It was dumb as a box of rocks at the beginning. Then they pulled it back. Then they re-released it, and they said we're only going to use it on stuff that we can absolutely guarantee the value. And now you can pay to be in it. Like, like, I want to go run an ad for like a terrible, terrible recipe that's like way off. That's like, I don't know. We're gonna make pizza dough, but I put like, I don't know, cayenne pepper in it or something.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Oh, great.
I'm kidding.
No respect. In a lifestyle improvement update, Google adds negative keyword tab to keyword planner. Finally.
About time. Yeah,
I don't know what else to say about this other than like about time, but
literally about time. Like, that's awesome.
So if you were struggling with that, you can struggle less. Google Shopping has introduced researched with AI experimental answers.
I've seen these.
You've seen these. Okay. So yeah, the way that this works is if you're researching something, so best, like in this example, best TVs of 2024, it's going to go, we got you. But with paid ads coming into AI overviews, how the hell can I trust this?
Yeah. Well, originally it was just like CNET articles and stuff like that. But yeah, now you're going to have paid ads in there. Like,
the best TV is, and then you just see it broken, like insert paid sponsor here. It's going to happen. It's going to freaking happen.
It's going to be great. I can't wait.
If you get that screenshot, send it to us, please.
Please.
I'll send you a box of crumble cookie.
Ooh, I'm going to send you something. I'm going to go make it in Canva right now.
Yeah, all cinnamon raisin.
Gross.
You thought it was going to be good.
Yep, now I'm out.
But that's what AI overviews is like now. Oh, that's it's a cookie. It's cinnamon raisin. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk a bit more about today. And it's the shift from product to customer satisfaction. And if you go through this article, it kind of talks about some trends in changes in how we do customer service. But I just wanted to open up the floor to talk. As an agency owner, I'm an agency owner. Businesses can take advantage of this too. Where does customer satisfaction and customer retention fall on the list of priorities as a deliverable.
It's like the most important thing, in my opinion. One of the most important, top two.
More
Like,
important than the product.
no, you have to have a good product. Product number one, customer satisfaction and retention number two.
Interesting. What are some things you're doing to increase satisfaction and retention?
Yeah, I was going to make a really crude joke, but I withheld because I'd actually drive people away. Well, so I mean, I could speak to like the agency side. I mean, it's all the different meetings and the touch points and the reporting and keeping them up to date on what's going on, what's coming, trends, blah blah blah. In my e-commerce days, it was responding to customer service emails quickly. I mean, it was like if it was during business hours, I wanted a response within 2 hours. Most of the time we were within like 15 minutes, like, because I was just very OCD about it, because I knew that's very important. Like, you can get an or you should get an instant response at that time through like Facebook and Instagram pretty quickly, right? So that's what people expect. Along with that came fast shipping, so turning around orders again Monday through Friday within 24 hours, if not within an hour. People will be shocked about how fast we'd get those out. Again, keeping people happy. And then if there were complaints, like literally listening to the complaints, not fighting, and just kind of like taking it on the chin if there were complaints. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was a lot that we put into that, which I think helped us like get that 40% return customer rate, because you just did the little things that kept them happy. Even going as far as manually signing the invoices and writing thank you with the Packers initials. And at one point, I remember them complaining that they wanted like just a stamp. Like, why don't we just stamp it? Because it's not personal. Like, then it's just a stamp. Like,
yeah,
it's you writing it out. People love that stuff. People still don't do it.
Oh,
So,
Jerry packed my box.
right. It's like when you look at your underwear, inspected by, so-and-so inspector number 4.
Yeah, I think I actually differ with you a little bit. I almost think satisfaction and retention is more important than product.
But if you have a crappy product,
there is a modicum to that. There's, as long as your product is comparable.
Okay. So with that caveat, yeah. Okay.
With that caveat, you can't take a bad product and get retention and satisfaction. Right. It's just impossible. Yeah. But with a acceptable product, you can.
True. Yeah.
And we did some really cool analysis internally with our agency and our customer response. And we found some interesting data that the average customer dry spell, meaning that no communication, ended up being about an average of 10 days. And what we found is that clients that reached to us tended to last less than clients we reached to.
Oh, 100%.
So we have a standing practice in our business where we have to touch point a customer every 7 days.
See, we send out reports weekly, because like, so like what you do is different than what I do. So like if I only did monthly, it'd probably be a different story, but we send out reports weekly. Then every 2 weeks, they have a touch point where the girls and the team reaches out to check in with like, hey, how's everything going? How is the lead quality? Mainly for those guys, because like we don't know. So we'd have to really keep in contact. Otherwise, they churn way faster than the e-commerce people, where I can see the numbers and I'm in constant contact with them, all the time, because we can all see the numbers rapidly. But that's a good point. Every week. Yeah, that's smart.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's something we've implemented. Obviously, every business is different. But we've found that that's been a huge retention factor. Once we adopted that, our average per month went up by about 20 to 25%.
Nice.
So it's not complicated, but the target does move here. For example, go back 3-4 years ago. If I got a box from something and it had a little note in it, super cool. Now everybody's got that. In fact, if I don't get a little note, I almost feel like I'm working with someone too corporate.
Well, no, totally. I mean, yeah, like 5-6 years ago when we were doing that, nobody was doing it. Now, then everybody started doing it. Slowly dying over here of whatever sickness my 6-year-old brought home. But no, I totally agree with you. I mean, like, you have to love on your people. And it's funny that we're talking about this, because I kind of had the same conversation. I did a guest spot on a podcast earlier this week, and that was one of my things. Is it's like, especially in the agency world, no matter really what business you're in, The more you can love on your people, the longer they will stick around. They will be
Yeah.
diehard, loyal customers. I don't care if you're an electrician, a plumber, a roofer, a restaurant. Even if you have automated emails that go out after you perform a service, make it plain text so it looks like it's actually coming from you. And that you will be surprised. People believe it and they love it. It's not
Absolutely.
done. They're used to getting the nice graphical emails that say thank you. And then they're like, this isn't tailored to me.
Customers exist because of customer relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your product's just that good.
I mean, you could be Nike, Pepsi, Coke. Speaking now, I was going to go off on a squirrel moment there for a second, but Dr. Pepper overtook the second spot going in cola world. I don't know if you knew about that, but
Happy for
no,
them.
yeah, no, they tried real hard. No, you're 100% right. Unless you're a huge brand, but even then, like you could really piss off your customers. So you have to love on them no matter what. I had another point, I forgot it, so I'll shut up now.
I will say this is a good spot for this. The flip side of that is you will not retain everybody, even your best clients. It is just
Yeah.
freaking impossible to retain everybody. In fact,
Oh yeah.
in fact, it's impossible to retain anybody forever because
for sure.
there are so many other variables on their side. Right? Think of your best friend. How much of their active life, their day-to-day life do you know? 20%? 25%? Maybe?
Maybe.
Like you don't know what they had for breakfast. Maybe they gave themselves food poisoning. Who knows? Like these are the things that it's like there is just so much out of your control. You have to control what you can very well to make it last as long as you can.
100%. I remember what I was gonna say is like, especially in the agency world, but because you kind of brought it up with the relationship building. I think that's where I was really trying to go before I had the ADD moment. Was everything we do is relationship building. Like I don't care what business you are, it's relationships. People will keep coming back to that relationship, and then you have that trust, that loyalty, that bond. And then to your point, we've had clients for 2 years and then they just up and leave out of nowhere, no warning, no nothing. And it's like everything's going good on our end, like what's going on out of nowhere, but it just happens. And those relationships though, and this is one of the points I made, you can actually, and this will kind of prove your point, you can have a crappy ish service or product, but as long as you're like loving on these people, they will stick around longer because of that relationship versus ignoring them and just treating them transactional. So, yeah. And the average, I think, length of being with an agency of any kind is like they average 3 to 4 months on average. But that's just because you got a bunch of F boys running around, risen and eating and yatting, not doing their actual work.
I really hope we edit that out.
What? That was great. Don't edit that out. That was great. I totally related to the young crowd right there.
You're lucky we have a younger editor.
He'll get it. Anyways, I'll stop soapboxing.
No, I think this is super important and not enough people talk about it. And the people who do talk about it are typically consultants that come in and fix this kind of stuff. You're not getting the real hard talk from businesses like us who have everything on the line. Consultants have nothing on the line.
Nothing.
Except you continuing to pay them.
100%. Our businesses are reliant upon this. And every business owner's business is reliant upon customer service, customer retention, which ultimately is relationship building. Whether you believe it or not, or think it's relationship building, it truly is.
I'll give you a personal story here. I went into a mod pizza.
Ooh, yummy.
And the person who made my pizza, the pizza artisan, made me have a fantastic experience. Just an enjoyable time, and like chit-chatted me up, was like, oh, you're doing this? Hey, have you tried this on this? I think it would be great. I'm now addicted to hot honey on my pizza.
Right.
Because it just adds a little something, little zhuzh.
Little zhuzh. What is
zhuzh?
What is that?
I think it's Yiddish. I don't know. Damn it, Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish.
And
then I came in again. I came in again. I came in again. And now I know almost every person at Mod, their name, they all know me. I walk in, it's like freaking cheers. That's an old reference for you young gadders out there. You little alphas. Okay?
Little alphas.
Okay? You want to see the real alphas, go watch some cheers, okay?
Dude, for real though, for real. Yeah, so those are some real alphas right there. No, it's totally true. And another example would be like Dutch Bros. You know, I love Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
You've been on the phone with me while I've been going through the line at Dutch Bros. I could be 3 cars deep, and they know exactly what I'm going to drink. They will bring it out to me 3 cars back. They know my name. They have jokes about my name because my name's Mitch. So like some of the little baristas and baristos have, like Mitch better have my money and stuff like that. It was just, because there's like guys and girls in there at the same time. But
Is baristos a word? I'm sorry. I'm so thrown right now.
well, there's barista, which is female, and then the baristo, which is male. So that's what I did there. Yeah. See what
I will rephrase. Damn it, Baxter. You know I don't speak Spanish.
But that experience makes me keep going back to that same stand, even though I could go to other stands that are on my way here as well, like 3 Starbucks and 17 other little coffee stands. But they know my order. They know my name. They say hi. They're very pleasant. I know them now. And yeah, it's good times.
And you too can do this at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is summon Captain Planet and he'll help you out.
Another OG reference. I like it.
Yeah. He fought all
Captain
the Earth Sigmas
Planet.
for sure.
I
hate myself right now.
Oh, we were awesome.
I'm going to a bad spot.
Yeah, this episode is epic.
I'm downloading Snapchat as we talk.
You already have it. You already post on it.
Shh. No one knows about that. Definitely don't go follow me on Snapchat. Okay. Well, I think it's time.
7 minutes in heaven with your website with Jake and Mitch.
Today we've got a great little company here for some power tools. I don't think it needs any more introduction. Let's just go. Let me set the old timer on my brand new Pixel 3 watch. This episode brought to you by Verizon.
Verizon, where you too cannot have cell phone service for an entire day.
Hey, that wasn't their fault.
Verizon, where we can't hear you.
Verizon, so good our mascots go to other companies.
That's a good one.
All right, let's do this. 7 minutes in heaven here with Stolbeck.ca. Go. All right, what we got here? Find your sanding solutions, performance guaranteed. Well, I like the title.
Yeah.
Gets me straight to it.
Yep.
And it's personal. Your sanding solutions, not everybody else's.
Yours.
Absolutely. We've got this little rotating block here, which goes really fast, almost a little too fast. Tired of sanding? Yeah. Well, no, because I'm buying sanding equipment.
Well, I think they're robots.
It's robotic.
Yeah.
Oh, find your automated sanding solutions.
There you go. That'd be better. Yeah.
There's our word. A new record. We went from 400 doors to, I was reading that, 400 doors to 800 doors in our first week with our Cosmo. Ooh, a little product placement there for something I'm assuming is called the Cosmo. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Stolbeck, because sanding sucks. I like that. I like that
a lot. Yeah. Straight to the point. I mean, sanding by hand sucks.
You could go a little bit more and say choose Stolbeck because sanding sucks. Right?
Ooh,
now we're playing into the sale. Also, no call to action button here.
Yeah.
You just sold me.
CTAs. Right.
You just sold me. It's because sanding sucks. Who wants to do that? Let me click the button and buy.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that they touch on labor shortage.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, here's a robot.
Now, I do think we have a misplay. You're showing product here, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you showed me a picture of a dude struggling to sand like an entire mahogany table and he's only done like a small corner of it, I think I'd relate a bit more.
Totally. Well, and it's kind of that blue on blue gets me too.
It's a lot of blue. It's a lot of blue going on. The end of palm sanding. We got a little video. I'm not going to play it right now. Here it is. The Cosmo SC turnkey robotic sanding. I also like that as the page headline or a sub headline above the main headline.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm the type of person who could buy this, Those words ring to me.
Right. 100%. These things are not cheap.
Ultimate edge sander. Edge, sand, and corner break in one pass. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got too much going on in this block. That background video is making me feel like I'm back at Disneyland. But it's good. Spinbot, who doesn't like spinning something? Your spray automated assistant with the video in the background. Maybe bring the video out or add like a play button that pops up a light box.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm interested, I could watch it, see it in action.
What do you think about like putting it next to it so you have like two things in that giant box versus just one?
Yeah, true. And the Cosmo XL for
XL,
true sanding alphas.
Where you can sand big shit.
So we've gone off the rails.
Yeah.
Okay. Too many products here, y'all. For too much space, too much scrolling. You can put some of these side by side very easily. They've got a podcast. Hey, all right. I like that.
Bros. Whoop whoop.
Podcast about sanding is one step up from podcast about watching paint dry, but hey, you got it.
I'm interested to hear this podcast actually, like talking about like dust particulates and different kinds of wood.
Nerd. Simple contact form, where you're located, and the bottom. No bottom nav though.
That's a big no for Jake. He likes a good footer.
I like the feet. You know what I'm saying?
He does. Onlyfeets.com.
But we do have a sticky scroll on scroll up, so it's not as bad. Let's jump into one of these product pages here. Take a look, ski. Okay, I'm gonna say a comment here. Your website doesn't feel trustworthy because it looks outdated. Now that might not matter a whole ton to your target audience. These are good old carpentry guys, you know, so that can still work, but that doesn't mean you should ignore it. It's just one of those things. Might be time for a refresh. In fact, let's do the old test. When was the last time the website was updated down to the footer? Don't even have the date. That's fine. Sometimes people will put in like copyright and the year, and then they don't update the website, so you know exactly how long it's been. But this website just feels 7 years old to me.
Right. Well, there's so much wasted space, which gives you that really old, outdated feel, or, you know, somebody put it together that didn't really know what they were doing, but they gave it the old college try.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like the site should feel more like an e-commerce site. I know you're still doing like manual ordering, but you can steal the design concepts from an e-commerce site because you are selling a product.
Right. Good points.
No experience necessary. Also,
you just need to know how to push start.
No padding balancing necessary either here.
Just put it wherever.
Whoa. That's an interesting effect. If you hover over it, it plays the audio.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Caught
me off guard there for a second.
You're like, who's talking to me? God, is that you?
Turnkey setup. Again, there are a lot of good things in here. These don't need to be full height sections.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, so much.
We can definitely tighten this up a bit. QR code. Yeah, this is great. Distribution partners, what customers are saying. Again, it just feels outdated to me. That's all.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Information's here. That's great. That's great.
Great verbiage.
The pun here. The pun.
Fundamental sanding principles ingrained in Cosmo's DNA.
I do love a good pun.
You do love a good pun. Uh-oh.
Oh, man. I think we're finished.
We are finished right on time this time.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I think you're in a great spot, but a refresh on the site might do you some real good from user experience, especially since user experience is so important for organic now. Making those updates would be fantastic.
It wouldn't even take a lot of work. Like, realistically, it's not like a whole overhaul. It moves some stuff around.
Awesome. Well, that was great, Mitch. Fantastic stuff. I think that if you take nothing else away from this podcast, you need to be focusing on customer success and retention, because that is going to make you the money in the long haul. Businesses that go to the big numbers, that's what they focus on.
Agreed. I thought you were going to say the one takeaway was to use more Gen Z words, but I'll go with customer retention too.
I mean, if you've got the Riz, you can slay for sure.
Jesus Christ. we shouldn't say these words. We don't belong in that era.
Well, Mitch, if someone wants to give you the old Hawk Tua, where can they find you?
You can hawk Tua on anywhere on the internet as Beardpreneur and barhammarketing.com, as long as my website I don't randomly delete.
Sounds like a decent business strategy.
I do that occasionally where I just like, you know what, delete it. Yeah.
And if you want to find me, you can always find me at thewizard.marketing or on any social as The Wizard Marketing. You can find this great podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, pretty much wherever you listen to. We send it just about everywhere. Would love to have you subscribe and listen.
Drop us some comments. Some
Yeah,
love.
and if you want to spend some time with us, hang out, have a good time, look at some footers, you know what I'm saying? We do have a mastermind group. You can find that at teachme4m, teach me the number 4, the letter m.com, because there's so much marketing out there. We had to have 4 of them.
We did 4, not 3.
Well, until next time, this is the Hold My Beard Marketing Podcast. Sayonara.
Adios.